Zell Boy Army, what is going on? It's your boy Zelonius, my beautiful, spicy friend back here, Mr. Ainshart, here today with an absolute banger of a video for you boys. 30-0 best post-patch custom tactics. I didn't want to give you a tactic update until I played a weekend league. I wanted to test out my tactics in the weekend league first, so I could show you boys that they're tried, they're tested. Everything I put on this channel is always tested first before I give it to you guys. The new patch, I don't think it's changed the game too drastically, but there's a few things that I've had to adjust and change, particularly in game with how I play. I'll talk about that as the video goes on. You want to stick around for this whole video, boys, because I'm going to be showing you all the tactics I use. I'm going to show you the tactic I start and play most of the game with. I'm going to show you the tactic I go to if I'm losing a game and need to chase the game, and I'm going to show you the tactic that I see out games in. A lot of people, I think, struggle when they're winning games on this FIFA, when people go to the team press to see out the game and get the win. I'm going to show you all my tactics, so stick around to the end so you make sure you can see them all. I'm going to be showing gameplay clips from every single tactic. I get 30-0 this weekend league with these tactics, so you know that they're good tactics. I played some very good teams, some pro players, so they're tried and tested against the very best, getting the best results in weekend league 30-0. And I'm going to be explaining the instructions. I'll show you the custom tactics, I'll talk you through my team, and like I said, I'll be showing you gameplay examples of each tactic. I'll be using my Magic Pen software to point things out on the screen to show you how you can replicate these in game. I'm really excited for this video, so I think it's going to be an absolute banger one. I appreciate the support so much on the channel lately, boys. If you've never checked out my stream before, link in the description below. I'll be streaming on my PS4 Road to Glory tonight. If you're really wanting to get better at the game, which I'm assuming you are if you're on a video like this, check a link below to the Patreon that me, FIFA Analyst and Jambu run. Over 50 people in the Patreon now, lots of people improving at the game drastically. Also, the final one, if you want private coaching from pro player, head coach of Roma Esports, 30-0 weekend league player for the last 4 FIFAs, DM me on Twitter. Private coaching available. Enjoy the video, boys. Okay, boys, top 100 in the world. We finished 25th, so that is pretty sick because 25th means we get 4 jumbo packs, 5 player picks, like 200k coins, really good rewards. Excited to open those. We'll be opening those on Thursday. Quick look at the champs channel to show you some of the people we played. So look, played this guy. This guy had 23. It was 23-0. He's a pro player, and his team was worth about 25 million. The guy had Foot Birthday Bale and Mid Hullet as his CDMs, like this team, the Ronaldo, Mid R9. There's going to be quite a few gameplay clips from that game later on in the video. 17-2, 19-4, 21-3, 19-8, 18-2. That guy's a top 100 player. 18-2, 21-5, 72. So you can see we played a lot of good people this weekend league. Some very tough teams as well. But you're here for the tactics, so I'm going to show you them. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you each tactic one at a time, and as I show you the tactic, we're then going to show you gameplay examples of that specific tactic, and then we'll move to the next one. Okay, this is the team that we hit the 30-0 with. Yes, before people start saying the team's very good, I got out-teamed probably 7 or 8 times this weekend, and yes, my team is very good, but the team does not just mean you can hit a 30-0. I coach people who can't hit a league, who have better teams than me. The team helps a lot. I'm not deluded. I'm very well aware the team helps a lot. But tactics, the right instructions, getting better at the game, using the right things, that matters far more than the team itself. I can hit elite with a cheap team, whereas a lot of people wouldn't be able to hit gold with this team. Team makes a difference, of course I know. And I'll talk you through why I use this team. Alisson, solid keeper, links to both the centre-backs. Theo Hernandez, probably the best left-back in the game. These two of the best value centre-backs in the game. Luis Felipe, probably the best value. Lala, links to Di Maria, pretty solid, very well-rounded for a full-back. 3 of my front 4, Costa, Dalglish and Di Maria, have 5-star weak foot. Mbappe plays out wide. I like 5-star weak foot, but he's untradeable. He's got 99 pace, he's strong, he's really good out wide. And then my 2 CDMs have 5-star weak foot. You'll see, 5 out of my 6 attackers, so to speak, my midfield and attack, have 5-star weak foot. 5-star weak foot is insane on this game, and it's absolutely vital. Then off the bench, I bring on Rooney, Lozano and Lasagna. 5-star weak foot and Lasagna to go in the middle, Lozano for some pace out wide, and then Rooney to replace Italia's just a beast of CDM later on. Subs do make a difference, and if I'd recommend one of these, it'd probably be Lozano for the value. If you can afford a little bit more expensive, Lasagna, because 5-star weak foot and rapid, great off the bench. They help me win a few tight games. Subs do make a difference. Okay, we'll go to the tactics. So, you can see, for the ultra defensive, that is the tactic that I use to see out a game. If I'm struggling to stay ahead, the team pressing me, I go to that one. That is the way I control games and see out tight games. The 4-2-3 one, which isn't too dissimilar, but I'll explain the differences when we get there. Oh, sorry. 4-2-3-1-2, we use to see out games. The 4-2-3-1 is what I use from the start of a game. I use this pretty much if I'm 1 goal ahead. If it gets late on and I'm only 1 goal ahead, I will switch to the ultra defensive. If I'm 1 goal behind, I will generally stick with this. If I'm winning by quite a few and it's comfortable, I'll just stick with this because it's a bit better attacking, the ultra defensive. If I'm losing a game though, then I go to the 4-4-2 constant pressure. The difference with this patch, the main difference with this patch, is that people go to the team press a bit earlier because the stamina nerf isn't quite the same anymore. You can play team press longer. So now I go to the 4-2-3-1-2 slightly earlier if I'm seeing out a game, because you need to deal with the team press. But if I'm losing, I will go to the team press a bit quicker. I probably go to team press around 55 to 60 minutes now, whereas it used to be around 65 to 70 minutes. So basically, 10 minutes earlier in the game, I will switch to either my ultra defensive or my ultra attacking, based on how the game's going. For the most part, we start in the 4-2-3-1. So I'll show you the tactics. Anyone who's been around the channel for a while will see these are the same tactics that I've been running for a couple of months. You might ask why? Because they're effective, they work, and I don't need to change. There's no reason at the moment to change these tactics. We've got balanced defensive style. I don't like drop back in this one because drop back doesn't allow me to press at all. I want to be able to press at this point of the game, win the ball back off my opponent. Free width, free depth means that I don't just get destroyed down the wings, but I'm still very compact in the middle where the dangerous zones is, and it allows me, even with this depth, I still can press well and get out of the defense. I don't invite too much pressure on. Then the offensive style, what this does, the balanced one, is just literally the most balanced. It allows me to have nice attacking patterns. I will show those attacking patterns in game. I leave the width from players in box on default. The instructions probably matter a bit more in this formation. It's quite a standard looking tactic, but when you see the custom instructions I use, you'll start to understand more why, and I'll show you gameplay clips that show how I use this tactic, how it plays in game. I just find this is a really balanced one. People have been using this tactic that I've created for a good month or two now. I wanted to try out this patch because the patch notes did not look too dissimilar, as in nothing much seemed to change. The main difference I see in game is just people press more. So that's when you have to go to the ultra defensive, or you can go to the ultra attacking if you're losing. But for the most part, I don't really need to change too much with the tactic. I don't like the more heavy press tactics because they do nerf stamina when you don't need to for the most part. And on top of that, it just leaves you a little bit more open. Whereas this one makes you very compact. It almost acts like Overload ball side without the stamina nerf, a lot of people have said. It's very frustrating and hard for people to break down, which is what you want, but it's still very good going forward. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you some clips from my weekend league. I'm going to show you some of the goals I scored, a little bit of defending in this formation, and show you how it plays in game, so you can actually see how it looks and potentially replicate yourself. So you can see here, the CDMs here, they've been used at the start of this clip to create a bit of space. Now we've got a front four. Dalglish is occupying the middle. Mbappe and Douglas Costa are occupied the fullbacks. So that creates a lot of space in the middle now. See there? Actually, this is Neybar. We had Neybar at this point of the weekly league. Neybar stretched the opposition out wide. He actually did insane Neybar on this clip, by the way. I don't know how he stayed up. But you see here, Hullet is coming here. So he's always an option on the edge of the box. I'm not sure of that. That's Di Maria. Di Maria's there, so he thinks he has to mark there because that passes on. And Mbappe keeps the fullback here occupied. But what ends up happening is, I go there. Di Maria somehow keeps the ball. And then Dalglish makes a great run. And he's just going to tap it in. But what you have to see is, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 attackers. These two on the edge of the box, what they do as well that a lot of people don't realise, they occupy a man. The two CDMs, I think, on his team are occupied here, so they're not defending in the box, which gives you more options, gives you more space. The more space and options you have, the easier it is to score and break down your opponent. Okay, here is another goal. See here, the CDMs are pushed up. A lot of people have their CDMs back here, but it just doesn't give you as much attacking threat, in my opinion. Yes, you are slightly more vulnerable to the counter-attack, but you are so much better going forward that to me it's a no-brainer to have the CDMs on balanced attack. It completely changes the attack whilst only slightly hindering the defense. So many people who've tried this tactic out before have said that they didn't think it would work and they was a bit apprehensive about having CDMs on balance, but it's changed their game. See there, great little movement from Dalglish. Let's watch it again. See there, so my CDM's involved. That guy there isn't marking him quick because Mbappe down there's occupied him. He's marking him. His centre-back has been drawn out of position here because he's going to mark my CDM who's part of the attack. Dalglish there makes a great run. He makes a slight defensive error, so Dalglish can just put it into the bottom corner. Nice and easy, but again, we've made so many attacking runs, attacking patterns, options we've got here that it's so hard for my opponent to defend against. Okay, this clip here shows a bit more of the build-up in the 4-2-3-1, maybe how you can counter-attack with it, which is a big part of scoring on this FIFA. You can see here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 attacking options. My opponent has 3, 4, 5, 6 defenders. It's a very hard position for him to be in. Here, a lot of people would struggle here because they wouldn't have enough options. But in this formation and the instructions I use, I overload my opponent with options. One of the most important things on this year to break people down is to have so many options that they don't know how to defend you. That's what this formation can do. We use the fullback still get forward. Here, my cam makes a run into a position that occupies him. And there you see, he's worried about the cam. So because he's worried about that, it opens up more space for Dalglish. Dalglish puts an insane finish into the top corner. But you can see there, having so many options just confused my opponent, made it so much easier for me to maintain possession. This formation is brilliant and very well balanced. One thing I like with this clip is here, it shows how the CDMs get involved and how they defend. Watch Atal here. Atal from CDM, because he's got cut passing lanes on and he's so quick, even though he doesn't have elite defensive stats, nips in here and stops a counter attack and turns it into an attack for me. Look at that. Atal there, because of his cut passing lanes, steps in. Cut passing lanes for me is 100% the best option on CDMs. And in this position here, we've still got the CDMs to go back to here if we want, but we have the 4 attacking options. Di Maria makes a great run into there, easy finish into the corner. Again, my opponent just had too much to deal with. Okay, this clip here shows a bit more defensively how strong this formation is. Even though my opponent's counter-attacking it, just watch how my team's set up here. So we can't get through instantly there with the 2 centre-backs marking him. The midfield are covering the counter-attack. That bit there wasn't easy for him to get through. and then I can easily switch to my left back, and in that position the left back just bullies him and I can counter attack easily. This game here was against a top 100 player with a pretty good side, and he was very good at defending. It was very hard to break him down, so you can see the winning goal here. This is a great example, by the way, of something a lot of people struggle with on this game: creating space around the box, how to make more chances, how to break your opponents down. Watch the patience here with Lasagna, some of the tricks I do, and how I wait for a good run to be made before I finally take the pass. See here, it's a good few seconds that I delay the pass. I'm just left stick dribbling, I do a trick here, and there you go. I make the pass when Dalglish makes that run, and it's an easy finish at the near post. But look, one thing again. Hullet here, my CDM, is occupying one of the centre backs. If Hullet wasn't there, Dalglish gets marked by him. I hope you can see a pattern now of how effective having the CDMs on balanced attack can be. You can trigger runs with them with L1 or LB, especially with 1-2 passes, but what it does, it just creates the space. Here, if Hullet isn't there, then that centre back just comes down and marks that. But I've been patient, I've drawn defenders in, Hullet has drawn a defender in, and then we finish that, and that won me the game. If my CDM wasn't there, I don't win the game there. That's how big a difference it can make. This was a game against a top 100 player, the guy who had the 25mm team there. You can see his foot birthday, Bale and Hullet. We equalised in the 85th minute and went straight to the 4-2-3-1. This is a fantastic position here of showing how compact and narrow this defence is. Look at this midfield here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's just no options for him to go through there. He's trying to be patient, but look, we're forcing him out wide, and you want your opponent to be out wide. That's where the danger isn't, so you put them into that position. It's fantastic to have them here. And there, he's got nowhere to go. We force him into a mistake. And I'm going to show you the rest of this clip because it shows how I win the game here. Shows you a bit more longer build up, how the 4-2-3-1 works. Look here, I'm calm, I'm taking my time. 4-2-3-1 has lots of space, lots of options, which is really good. So here, using the CDMs, Hullet's bombing forward, which just creates us more space. I'm going backwards, I'm not rushing the attack. So many people here will just rush forward, rush the attack. Don't be predictable, slow the tempo down, mix up what you're trying to do. Hullet there, my CDM again, getting involved. Use my other CDM. You can see here, I'm using my CDMs, I'm using every player on the pitch. Even when I'm not using the Lam and Ram, they're occupying players. He'll be going up there to mark Mbappe. See there, he's not coming down there because the Lam, he needs to mark. See, I'm patient. I'm using the CDM. Now I bring my Lam into play, makes a good run. I've drawn players out of position. I've used my CDMs to draw these midfielders out. And once you pass the midfield, it's a lot easier to score. Take one touch in the box, and that's where example of the 5-star weak foot's so good. And I score a winning goal in a really tight game. So you saw there how compact and hard the 4-2-3-1 is to break down, how good it is at keeping the ball, how you can use the CDMs to create space, and then you play the pass into the box, the 5-star weak foot, take a touch, turn and shoot, goal. 4-2-3-1, brilliant, most balanced, best formation in the game. Okay, we're here now with the ultra defensive formation. We're not going to spend as much time on this and the ultra attacking one, mainly because I don't use them as much, but there's still going to be a few clips giving examples of how they play in game. This one is very, very, very similar to the 4-2-3-1. The main difference is it's a left mid and a right mid, so I'm not going to be drawing lines all over and stuff because you get how this formation works, and I'll show you clips in game. But what's great about it is what it can do and how compact it can be. What I do in this formation is I go to drop back. I don't like drop back normally, but when I'm trying to see out a game, I'm happy inviting them onto me a bit more because it allows me to counter attack better, but also I don't need to press. I'm not trying to win the ball back. I don't want my players to dive in and potentially make a mistake. I want them solid in position, very hard to break down, And the width being so low is good because the left mid and right mid solve that. They make the width not an issue defensively. And it's so hard for people to break down. I rarely ever concede in this formation. And then the offensive play style, I don't like possession generally, but in this formation I do, because this formation is all about space, using the width of the pitch, keeping the ball, seeing out a game. And the best way to see out a game is control the possession. I have 10 width, which as you can see with the formation there, with the left mid and right mid and the fullbacks, it just gives you so much space that people, the only way they can get the ball off you is to go like a 4-4-2, but then you can just play the ball into the middle and you have more space in the middle with your camp and 2 CDMs. It is a nightmare for people to get the ball off you in this formation, which is exactly what you want. And I don't want many players in box because I'm not trying to score. Obviously, if you can score and you get a chance to in this formation, please go for it. But the main aim of this formation is to see out the game and control possession. Everyone on stay back. Come back on defence, stay wide on the wingers because we just want them to be an outlet out wide. We want them to come back and defend. The CDMs in this one stay back and cover centre passing lanes. The camps come back. And then the striker, I actually have the same on this, but getting behind. Normally I don't want getting behind, but I want him to make runs in behind now. So when people are pressing me and diving in, he makes those diving runs in behind, so I can take advantage of people diving in and making mistakes. So it's important on this one that you do have game behind. Let's show you some gameplay clips of this formation in action. Here you can see just how compact and hard to break down this formation is. Sorry by the way that you can see clips from my stream here. That's where I got the clips from this game from. You can see here just how compact the formation is. Look how hard this is to break down. We have the left mid covering the wings, and then all this area here is protected. Even Dalglish is getting involved. Just look here. He's got 2 options there, and we've got this here in protected us, and the cab's getting back. Opponent gets frustrated here, forces the ball forward, but it just allows me to quickly switch and cover him. And then there, he just gets desperate, doesn't know what to do. He can't break it down. This formation just covers every area of the pitch, and it's so hard for the opponent to do anything. Okay, this clip here shows an example of how you can counter-attack in this formation. A lot of the time, long passes are on when you're trying to counter and people are pressed. Sometimes the long pass is the only way to get past the press that people use. See here, I use 1-2s a lot in this formation. You can see there, Mbappe's made the pass, and Dalglish just came short. Hullet would have been free there, but then I still get an easy pass because the left mid and right mid are trying to sit wide to offer outlets. This ended up being offside, but you could see the attacking patterns that that formation created. It's very easy to counter-attack because it has so much width and it beats the press very easily. Here is another great example of how hard this formation is to break down. Just look again. This middle bit here where he wants to attack, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 men. How is he breaking this down? He isn't. That's the thing. Look, I don't even have to do a lot here. It's just so hard for him to break down. He eventually gets frustrated. My AI makes an easy block. There's just not a lot he could do to break this down here. I felt bad for the guy. What are you supposed to do against this formation? It's so hard for your opponents to do anything. It just ends up leaving people feeling really frustrated, stressed, and not knowing what to do. Insane defensive formation. We actually scored a free kick in this game, so I just thought I'd leave you a clip of that. Always nice to see a free kick go in. So you aim just above the bar, right stick up, so it curls down. Again here, another example of how hard this formation is to break down. My opponent's counter-attacking, and he's got past my midfield because of that. But what we do is, the defence, because it's on drop back, they get back very fast, very compact. And even though he's got past my midfield, they're still very tight. Not much he can do in this position. And he tries to do a chip through ball, but we easily cover it. Just no options for him, and your opponents end up feeling suffocated, forced into making passes that just aren't the right ones. Okay, here is a great counter-attack clip, an example of how you can protect the ball here. Maybe a bit of a risky through ball, but still works. A nice ball roll here. A ball roll on the wing there is a fantastic way of protecting the ball. We can go backwards here, can see here, we just have so many options. CDMs tucking in, we use the width of the pitch, the fullbacks, and there's just so much we can do here that it just frustrates your opponent, makes it so hard for them to get the ball back off you, because you can use all the pitch and the width that this formation offers. Okay, last but not least, if you are looking to get back into the game, the 4-4-2 constant pressure is the tactic for you. Insane pressure, so hard for your opponent to do anything. Turn team press on with it for the double whammy. The constant pressure here, your team are just, they leave so many gaps and you can get exploited for this, but it is the best tactic I found for winning the ball back. 10 width, 10 depth, you cover every area of the pitch. Fast build up. I hate fast build up generally, but in this formation when you're trying to win the ball high at the pitch and just go forward straight away, it's very effective. Lots of players in box, obviously. 4-4-2 so good because the left mid and right mid pen their fullbacks in, so they don't have an easy ball to their fullbacks, but you still have two centre mids in the middle to help. Plus, you have two strikers, which helps make the attack better. And then pretty much everyone's on get forward. The CB centre backs I leave on stay back because I don't want nobody to defend, but I want everyone on join the attack. Other than that, get forward on the centre mids. Stay central again, but stay forward on the strikers. So if you win the ball, they instantly try to get behind. I'm going to show you a couple of clips of this in action. Okay, this is an example of me scoring in here. You can see here we've got a Tal and Hullet, the two centre mids getting involved, bombing forward. The left mid and right mid pull the fullbacks out. Here, what I like about this is that there's two centre mids. They're bombing forward. A Tal there occupies a centre back and a CDM, which just generates space. So the two centre mids and two strikers getting forward just occupy a lot of men. Gives me a little space to left stick dribble and create a goal. Gives me a chance again in this game. It's a very good formation for overloading your opponents because the left mid and right mid occupy the fullbacks. Then you almost have four strikers with how far forward the centre mids get to overload them. Okay, this clip here is me showing the team press in action, how I can win the ball back more. In the team press, players just seem to win the ball back better. They win more 50-50s, they're quicker, they're stronger, and this is going to show you some examples. David Luiz here just steps in, just seems more aggressive, wins the ball better. But this formation, you don't have to just force the ball forward still. You can still be patient, you can still go back to the centre mids. I don't know why it passed there, it's not what I wanted, but again, team press, constant pressure, Tal steps in, just wins it easily. Got lots of width, lots of options to stretch the opponent. I don't force the passes, I'm waiting for the players in space. Okay, this was unlucky here, that probably should have gone in, but it was a great save. We end up getting a corner from this. See what I do here, dribbling with Douglas Costa. Taking corners short and going into the box is the best thing. I normally like to go there, but I've done that all game, so I fancy dribbling in the box. And he ends up stepping in and making a silly tackle, which gives me a penalty, and then I score the penalty. My tip on penalties is aim one way and go the other. But you saw there, a few times we won the ball back because of how insane the press is, but then you can still attack and still be patient, even with a fast build-up, but overload your opponent with too many options. Okay boys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I put a lot of effort into making this, showing you all my tactics, lots of gameplay highlights and examples. I think these tactics really will make a big difference to you if you can apply them to your game. Any questions, please let me know. If there's any type of videos built around these tactics or anything further, more specific detail you want to see, please let me know. Hope you've enjoyed them. I've really enjoyed making this video for you boys. Appreciate you guys a lot. Thank you so much for the support. Good luck with these tactics and let me know how you get on with them. Have a spicy one.